Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. A brand new character is coming to Overwatch pretty soon. We've been getting little hints and tidbits of information here and there over the last month or so. But Blizzard just released a pretty huge image showing off some really important stuff that we've been kind of thinking that was going to happen, and now it's pretty much been confirmed. So I'm going to go over that, but first I want to kind of bring you guys up to speed with what this new character is in case you haven't heard of her. Let's start with some of the history of this character. A while back, there was a GameSpot video that showed these images that I'm going to put on the screen for you right now. And as you can see, the character on the screen that's being developed looks like it's a sniper, but it is in the support section, which means that this new character is a support sniper, a very unique concept in first-person shooter games. There was a couple more images in the video that showed off what appeared to be a sniper scope. And now with the image that Blizzard released yesterday, it seems to be all but confirmed that this is in fact the lens of the sniper scope that this character will be using. Now comparing these two images, it looks like this is almost certainly going to be the zoomed in sniper view of this new character's weapon. There's also some really cool stuff going on in this image, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because there's some other little hints and teasers in the game already that I want to show you. Blizzard likes to drop little hints about their upcoming characters inside the game for players to find. This was shown in the Hollywood map for McCree, when the guy inside the car that you have to escort to the end of the map talks about how Jesse McCree is a stupid name for a cowboy. Well, at the time, McCree wasn't out in the game yet, so it was a little hint at the upcoming character. This new character has a bunch of tips in a variety of maps, and it's pretty cool because they kind of feed into each other. So the first one I'm going to show you is in the Temple of Anubis map. In the attacking team spawn, there's a table with a file folder on it, and this is what it looks like. So this appears to be a picture of the character, but it's wearing a mask. Now, we don't know who the character actually is. The code name is almost certainly Sombra, but the real name is a bit of a mystery. However, some of that might have actually been revealed accidentally by Blizzard. We'll get into that in just a minute here. Let's keep looking at this picture. So is there something that you notice about the character itself? It appears to be wearing either a mask or could possibly be another cyborg like Genji. But even then, look more closely at the character itself. Do you see the little upside down triangle on the mask? That little symbol appears to be the same one that's in the scope that we saw in the previous image. Another thing to notice is on the bottom right, you can clearly see an image of the pyramid from the Dorado map. So next stop, Dorado. Traveling to Dorado, if you go to the marketplace near the beginning of the map, you'll see these newspapers littered on the ground. And there's an article written about Sombra. Translated, it says, "Who is Sombra?" And if you look at the picture they have of the character, you'll notice that it seems to be wearing the same kind of cloak and hood that we saw in one of the first images that I showed you. But that's not all for the Dorado map. There's a few more things. Towards the very end of the map, in the far left back room, there's a couple of monitors that say, "Access not authorized, Protocol Sombra." So it appears that Sombra is trying to gain access to the computer network of the pyramid, and a protocol is running to keep her out. If you look on the table behind the monitor, you'll see a folder that says Sombra Classified. Also, it's kind of funny to point out that they have two other folders there, one for Soldier 76 and one for Jack Morrison. And the reason why that's funny is because it's actually the same person. Although, judging by the pictures that they have on the table, it looks like the people running the facility have just figured out that Jack Morrison is Soldier 76. There is one more little bit of information on Dorado, and that's when you're playing as the character Reaper. When you play Reaper on Dorado, sometimes he will give this voice line,
"Where's Sombra when you need her?"
So who is Sombra? Well, Sombra is almost certainly an alias. Just like Soldier 76 is an alias for Jack Morrison, Sombra is an alias for... who? Well, the most likely candidate is going to be Anna Amari, which is Farah's mother, one of the original members of the Overwatch team, who worked closely with Reyes and Jack Morrison, Reaper and Soldier 76. There are quite a few pictures of Anna Amari when she was on the original Overwatch team, and you can clearly see her weapon of choice is some sort of high-power rifle. Now, for a while, we could only compare these photographs to the blurry image we got from the video that shows the character select screen. But just yesterday, Blizzard released this image of a rifle, and while it's not an exact match to what Anna Amari used, it is likely her upgraded version, her new modern version of what she used to use. Now, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this image that I want to talk about, but the biggest one is what's not here. You see, there are two different versions of this image. One that was sent out on the English Twitter account for Overwatch, and one that was sent out on the Latin America Twitter account. So I want you to notice who this message is being sent to. Jack Morrison and Gabriel Reyes. Those are the leaders of the original Overwatch team. However, there's an alternate version of this image, which was accidentally sent out on the Latin America Twitter account. In that image, there's a third person that's included in the message, and that is Anna Amari. So if Jack Morrison and Gabriel Reyes were included because they're the leaders of Overwatch, Anna Amari was almost certainly included because she's the one that will actually use the weapon. Alright, so enough with the conspiracy theory stuff. Let's talk about the rifle itself and why this is really, really cool. So there's a couple of little messages from both Torb and Mercy here, so I'm just going to read them off to you. So for Torb it says, as discussed, this is the proposed rifle that could be equipped by medics in the field. Despite what my esteemed colleague will surely suggest, the application of her biotic technology is only intended to be used for healing. And then Mercy replies with her comment, while Torbjorn has, as ever, put forth a very clever design for his latest weapon, I would like to remind everyone that my intention when agreeing to the development of different biotic delivery mechanisms was to save the lives of Overwatch agents and others in need of medical aid. With this latest proposal, it is clear to me that we are on the slippery slope to modifications that will inevitably result in a weaponized version of this technology, something that I have been completely opposed to from the beginning. So as you can see, Torb and Mercy are kind of at odds a little bit. Mercy allowed Torb to use her biotic technology to create new stuff, and Torb ended up creating a rifle that can deliver basically the healing biotic field at great range. But Mercy is concerned that it will somehow be modified so that instead of healing people at great range, it will actually cause harm. So there's a bunch of similarities between Mercy's healing staff and this new healing rifle. If you notice, the main spinning part of the healing staff is what is now the top part of the rifle. And on the staff, there is like a little spinning device that has grooves in it. And you can see that that is underneath the barrel of the rifle, on the bottom of the rifle. So the part that spins to give out the healing beam on Mercy's staff is probably going to be what charges the bullets that get shot from this rifle. So the last thing to notice about this image is what appears to be the ammunition for the rifle. And it looks like it's going to be the same kind of biotic field canister that Soldier 76 uses when he drops it on the ground. Now, on the bottom right of this image, you'll see the canister that's been opened up when Soldier 76 drops it. But on the top right, you can see that it looks more like a projectile. So while you load the weapon with the canisters, it's probably going to shoot things that look like the little projectile on the top right. Alright, so that was a whole lot of info, hints, conspiracy theory stuff, but what kind of character, what sort of abilities is Sombra actually going to have? Now, because Sombra is a sniper character, and snipers need to be able to get to high elevated positions in order to have a good view of the battlefield, there's almost a guarantee that she will have some sort of movement ability. The other two snipers in the game right now, Hanzo and Widow, both have some sort of movement. Hanzo can wall climb, and Widow has her grappling hook. Now, I don't think that Blizzard is going to give Sombra either of those. So because Sombra is most likely Ana Amari, which is Pharah's mother, I think they're going to give her some sort of rocket-assisted movement ability. And it could be as simple as some sort of rocket jump that's similar but not quite as good as Pharah's. Or it could be something more targeted like Reaper's teleport. So imagine you're on the ground and you select your movement ability, your rocket jump, but rather than simply boosting into the air, you pick your location just like Reaper does, and then she travels there very quickly using some sort of rocket-assisted jump. Now, I'm not really sure what her second ability could be. It might be something simple and bland, like an AoE heal. Think Soldier 76's Biotic Field, but shooting it from a really far distance. Or it could be some sort of charged damage amplification thing, where she charges up a shot and she hits a teammate who then has amplified damage for, like, let's say 5 or 6 seconds. Now, we're going to go back into the conspiracy theory stuff a little bit more. Mercy's comments in that message said she was concerned about it being used as a weapon to harm people. So one of Sombra's abilities is almost certainly going to do some sort of negative impact or some sort of damage to an enemy. And I think it might actually be her ultimate. So going by Mercy's concerns, and what we already have in the game from the other support healers' ultimates, I think Sombra is going to have something a lot different and a lot cooler. I think Sombra's ultimate is actually going to hurt the enemy team instead of helping your team. So let's look at the other support healers' ultimate abilities. Mercy has the res, Lucio has the overheal, and Zenyatta has a constant heal. If you were to give Sombra any of those, it would just be kind of overlap, and it would be lame, and it would be dumb. So I don't think that's going to happen. So the thing that Mercy was worried about most was taking her biotic healing technology and turning it into something that was a weapon that could cause harm to others. And I think that is exactly what Sombra's ultimate ability is going to be. So kind of like how Zenyatta constantly heals everybody in the area, I think what's going to happen is Sombra is going to be able to fire a charge that instead of healing your teammates in the area, it will slowly cause damage to the enemies in the area. So it will apply a damage over time, a dot, to all the enemies in the area that get hit by the blast. But more than just doing damage to the enemies, it will prevent them from being healed. So the attack itself won't do much damage, but the thing that will actually make it a really big impact is that nobody on the enemy team will be able to get any healing until the ultimate runs out. So that sort of twisting of Mercy's healing biotic technology would be perfect for a weaponized version of it. So right now, we don't know when Sombra is going to be released, but I have a pretty good idea of how Blizzard is going to handle releasing this and all other future new characters. And here's how I think it's going to happen. The competitive ranked season lasts for 2.5 months, and then there's 2 weeks of downtime. And I think this is when Blizzard is going to release any of their new characters. Now, does this mean we're going to get a new character every single off-season? Probably not. But I don't think Blizzard is going to want to release a new character in the middle of a competitive ranked season. I think they're going to do it in the off time, in between seasons, so that people can practice with the new character and then use it in the upcoming ranked season. So what do you guys think about the new character? And let me know what you think her new abilities might be in the comment section below. Oh, and by the way, there just might be some other hints to other future upcoming characters already in the game. I'll go over that in a future video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you're new. Remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.